Welcome back, everybody, to Final Fantasy V, and today we confront the Wood Sprite. Yeah, if people can remember from the last part that we did, we actually had our first confrontation with one of the demons of the End Zone, and it's this Wood Sprite. So now we're just going to go ahead and nuke her into oblivion, because that's what we do. Yup. So hope everybody has had a good week this week. I wish I could not sound like a broken record, but, well, my week's been busy again. I've had tons of school stuff, I've had tons of editing, tons of projects going up, and in fact, that's one of the things that I have a little bit of business to go over, but I guess we'll get there when we can get there. I also had a live stream earlier this week. Oh, bye, Wood Sprite. Yeah, that's how long it took to kill you. We had a live stream this last Monday where we were able to tackle a little bit more of Undertale, and I think what we're going to do next week, you know, I hate to be the guy that's going to disappoint you, but I really want to keep things going until we're finished with Undertale. So, or that's not what I mean. I don't want to keep it consistent. I want to be able to do other things in the meantime. So maybe we'll tackle another game on Monday. Or another idea that I actually thought of was, if Undertale is extremely short, then we can get into that other game afterwards. I'm not quite sure, but I actually would like to see a break from Undertale this week, or this upcoming week, and then the following week, finish up Undertale. And if we finish up early, probably do like a little bit of a Q&A session or something like that. But we'll figure that out. Leave your comments below, because I would love your feedback on the matter. I already do have another game lined up if I were to not do Undertale on Monday, because I have a feeling that it is going to get... It has been requested, so I have a feeling it will be one of those things that might resume after Undertale is done, but we'll find out. So yeah, that's the plan. The live stream is still happening. I'm not sure how I want to approach it. If I want to just finish up Undertale and maybe do a Q&A for it, or go into the next game right after. I don't know. We'll figure that out. Obviously, the other Let's Plays are doing well. We're actually getting ready to finish this one up, because we are in the end zone. And to move on into the next line, which I actually found, the next in the Roman numeral line. And I found that a little interesting, because Undertale actually does reference Final Fantasy VI. That was kind of cool that it did. So, I find that a little interesting. But it seems to me like things are still going well with the live stream. We're still getting requests. But I am getting requests to just finish Undertale and give kind of my final thoughts on it. And I will wait until it's finished before I do that. As far as reviews go, I just barely I know it's not the weekend, people. Things got busy, like they do. And I just barely put up my review of Unravel for Xbox One. That's the version that I played. You can play it on PS4, Xbox One, PC, and Mac. And I wholeheartedly recommend that you do so. Especially if you're looking for a good budget title to get you through the in-betweens here. I think Unravel would do just the job. I especially recommend this to families. Really quick deviation. So, I'm going to cover this really quick. So, this is actually an optional boss. I don't actually have to take him on. But for you guys, I decided let's take him on just to show him off. And that is the Omega Weapon. This is a guy that'll actually show up in later Final Fantasy games. And just like in this one, he is hard as crap. In fact, you might see a couple of attempts at this guy. He is that much of a pain. Because I'm not sure if I actually showed a fail attempt, or if I resumed it in the middle. But yeah, this guy is not to be trifled with at all. As you could tell, he's literally doing like 3,000 damage to every single party member. And he has a reflect, so you can't really use the single target spells on him. Bye, Kryl. And didn't work. Okay. I was about to nuke another party member. That's not good. So yeah, Unravel is up. I hope you guys enjoy it. The next review should be up in the next little bit. I did want to spend a little bit more time with it before I got it up permanently, because here's the thing, I don't know if I'm going to come back to it for like a quickie or anything like that. I'm still probably going to do a rant on it, because it is, spoilers, it's Street Fighter V. And I've got quite a bit to rant about with it, but at the same time, I want to make sure that the review is out first before I review, or before I rant it. And that's death for Kryl, so obviously this is not the successful attempt. Yeah, Omega can kick the crap out of you, and in some cases, people just don't fight him. This time, however, we're gonna kick his ass. Except for the fact that he took away Kryl. I don't appreciate that. That's okay, though. Okay, Asuna. So yeah, you guys can expect that review fairly soon. I'm also working on another review in the meantime, which is just kind of to pad things out, because March is going to be a light month when it comes to reviews. There isn't a whole lot of titles I'm interested in reviewing. So this is just kind of, people might get on my case about how I'm pushing out Street Fighter V and adding in another game, but I really want something to be there in March until April. Things kind of resume in April. Besides, Street Fighter V is a game that people will be playing for a long time. And holy slashes, Bartz! Boom! One shot, people! He's got that much hit points, and I literally had to rearrange jobs and abilities to kill him. Trust me, when we get to a later game when he resurfaces, we're not going to be able to do that. We're not going to be able to turn on God mode and just slash the crap out of him. That's not going to be able to work. But there you go. That's for the reviews. We've also got the live stream. I'm trying to think of all the business I need to sweep under the rug here, people. And there you go. We have the Omega weapon is defeated. And obviously I need a cottage after that. So the other thing that I need to note is podcast this weekend. So listeners of the podcast, first of all, thank you for also watching this video. But I have a little bit of bad news. Kind of. There will not be a podcast this weekend. Sort of. I know I can already feel the questions mounting up. So what do you mean sort of? We are actually going to be getting together to review a movie that is coming out in select theaters, and it just so happens that a local theater to us got into that list. We are going to be reviewing the release of The Boy and the Beast from Funimation in a local theater. So what we're going to do is, since we are already getting together at that point and we're going to review a movie, we're also going to do a couple of stories in the middle of that too, and that will be the episode for this week. So I'm hoping to have, we are literally going, let's see, it's Thursday, so we're going tomorrow. And at that point, I'm hoping to just ram editing, or just, burn the candle at both ends, edit the crap out of this, and get it up on Saturday, if not by, podcast time, hopefully earlier than that. And so that will be the podcast for this week. I promise we're not trying to be stingy or anything like that, but we're already getting together to do a movie review, and I just don't want to add work on top of that. So that's why we're going to do a little bit of the stories that have happened this week. I have a feeling one of the stories that's going to be on the agenda is doing Oscar coverage, because the Oscars happened, and, well, the Shadow Blazer wants us to cover it, even though I don't want to. That's just me. I never thought you'd make it this far. The instant you touched this book, you activated the dimension switch. Ah, crap. Wibbly wobbly timey wimey is gonna happen all over the place. And boss fight. Here's another end zone beast, and it is the Apprehender. Doesn't that sound like it should have been a Sylvester Stallone movie? The Apprehender? like a cop drama or something like that. So yeah, no podcast this weekend. I hope you guys understand. There will be, but it will not be a live thing. We will be back to live the following week. And the only time I think, aside from that this month, that is going to happen, it's probably going to be Batman v Superman. We'll get together for that too. But we'll keep you guys posted in the meantime. The other thing that I also want to mention with the podcast is we are now on Podomatic. So the episodes will be going up on Podomatic as well. I'm hoping to be able to get them up on iTunes through Podomatic so that people can enjoy them, whether it be, you know, the live versions with the video or in the audio format. So we are now on Podomatic. So if you guys want to show your support for the podcast, please do so on Podomatic. Hopefully we'll be up on iTunes fairly soon, so you can show your support there too. From out of the sky appeared Omega, the Heartless. Yes, this is basically giving kind of exposition about the 12 weapons of Anuo and also like Omega to explain how he plays into the end zone and all the demons here. So there you go. That's pretty much the business for this week. Live stream next week will probably it will be Undertale. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that it's going to be that. The Let's Plays will continue as normal, and then Friday night we're going to be going to see The Boy and the Beast, where we will record the episode, and hopefully we'll be able to get it up later that night. Or later Saturday night. So you guys can have that. And I mean both formats. So you'll get a video version. We're still trying to work out those details. But get a version that'll go up to YouTube, and then also get a version that will go up to Podomatic, so that you guys can have the most current episode, as well as the archive that I'm trying to get up into Podomatic right now. So you guys can look forward to that. I always feel like I talk you guys' ear off during the business section of these Let's Plays, but there you go. That's the plans for the channel. And also the reviews. So Unravel is up. I'm hoping to have Street Fighter V up fairly soon. I will have another review, and then there will be one review for March. Hopefully to give me a little bit of a break before April happens, where finals happen and all of the games that are coming out in April. Because that'll be crazy. I'm hoping not too bad, but we'll find out. If things get super crazy, I'll let you know. In the meantime, though, we are still making our way through the end zone, and I'm not gonna lie to people, the end zone is pretty freaking long. We've only hit like maybe we're at the halfway point, I want to say, but I'm probably wrong. We're coming up on the castle of the end zone, as you guys can tell. I don't care about the Dragon Avis. Just you'll notice that I'm not even caring anymore. I'm just gill tossing everything to death because it's an insta kill for most enemies. And on top of that, I've done so much grinding in this game. I'm Scrooge McDuck rich. So it's not like it's hurting me. There we go. So now we are in the castle of the end zone. And I loved one of the watchers of the Let's Play actually let me know, wow, you say end zone a lot. And I kept on thinking you were talking about football. Yeah. I kind of wish that, like, because I guess the rough translation at some point was X Zone, because that's what goes into Final Fantasy VI. I kind of wish that they would have gone with the X Zone. That would have sounded better, but you know, under the Bender line of reasoning, I prefer extortion. The X makes it sound cool. But no, it's called the End Zone. I'm guessing for Null Void. Oh, we don't care about you guys. Fine, whatever. Kill them. Bye-bye. That's the way it goes. Okay. Now, the castle actually isn't that hard a place to figure out. However, there are some treasures here, so I don't want to miss them, I believe. Yeah, I think this is the one that has a couple of... I don't want to say weapons, but it's got something. It might be armor. Because the Anua weapons are it. They're the weapons you want to have. Well, some of them are. Some of them are kind of pointless still, but... There we go. Winged shoes. So we are going for some of the armor in the end zone. And right now I'm just checking out the towers. Thor's hammer. Okay, so that is one weapon that you can get. I believe it's a good Viking weapon, but none of the weapons I have, or the weapons I have are fine. Oh, look, it's another sword dancer. Let's see. I'm actually trying to think of just kind of sneak peek people the stories that we might actually cover. I know that the Power Rangers film began production, which I'm happy about. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. It's what happens when I have this on. I'm actually looking into some of the suggested stories by the panel to see if maybe they'll make it. Oscar coverage obviously will, so we'll be talking about that. Power Rangers going into production may or may not. I don't know. If you guys want it. Not a whole lot of stories this week aside from that. We had the Ghostbusters trailer. We also had a casting in the live-action Ghost in the Shell movie. And I am still on the fence with that movie. I really don't think it should be done. We still get this requested, to talk about the Ghost in the Shell live-action movie with Scarlett Johansson. And I can't say it enough, people. I don't know if I want that. I don't know if it's going to be honoring the original. I don't know if it's going to be... And by that, I don't mean necessarily the manga, but I don't think it's going to honor what came before it. I'm more worried that it's going to get chalked up into usual American movie tropes and therefore lose some of its meaning. Here I am talking about Ghost in the Shell as if it's like philosophical, and in some cases it is, and in most cases it's not. It's action based, but I just don't want the movie ruined. That's one of those few movies that I can still remember from my childhood. Anime fans loved. Like, if you were an anime fan, you were watching Ghost in the Shell. You had watched Ghost in the Shell. What was the other one that gets brought up? Akira was another. Or is it Akira? No, I call it Akira. People will notice on the channel I don't really care about proper pronunciation, especially when it comes to something from my childhood. I'm used to saying things the way that I did as a kid. And I do care about pronunciation, but I'm still going to say it the way I did when I was a kid. Instinct. Okay, so this is an interesting part. We are in the dungeon right now. And you'll notice that there's a bunch of little wizard guys wandering around that we have to fight that are called Ale Riots, or Altroids. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. But there's technically 2 end zone bosses in this area. One is mandatory, one is optional. You don't have to fight the optional one if you don't want to, but this is one of those things where Final Fantasy kind of got dinky in this regard, is that they call it an optional boss, but when you beat him, he reveals a save point. So is that an optional boss? The ability to save, to use a cottage so you can continue to move forward in the story. Is that an optional boss? I don't think so. And there he is, actually. So here is our save point that obviously we need to go get, right? I don't see a reason why you would ever turn down a save point, especially in the later Final Fantasy games where dungeons got amazingly long. Are you the holders of the crystal shards? No. I see. then you all die. Nice to see you too, Sunshine. But that's okay, we'll kick your butt too, and welcome everybody to Azul Magia. Let me guess, a mage-like boss. That didn't take a whole lot of effort, now did it? Ooh, okay, so we're prepping things for Azul, to down Azul Magia. Or Azul Magia, I don't know how you say it. I'm not going to presume that I do. Oh, kill tosses. Boom! And yet another boss goes down. That's the way it goes, people. We just knock them down left and right like bowling pins. Yeah, I would... Wow, I got cut off on that one. Yeah, final dungeons in Final Fantasy games from this point on, well, I would actually dare say from 4 on, got way long. So at that point, you never refuse things like save points, abilities to have like an in or a way to be able to grind in them. You don't ever refuse that, in my opinion. It's never optional. It is mandatory. Especially once we get into, let's see, 6 had a long one. This is obviously long. 8's was amazingly long. So was 9. Like, I'm trying to think of them in my head. 7 wasn't too bad as far as like raw time, but 8, you spend a lot of time in that final area. 9, probably not as much time as 8, and then 10 was not as bad. And I can't remember 12 that well. 12 is one of those games I'm not looking forward to going back to, because it's like one of those it's one of those games in the numeral line that just irritates me. For a number of reasons. I can't really narrow it down to just one, but, well, the biggest one is, and I've said it numerous times, I'll say it again, is Vaughn is not the main character. Why is Vaughn a playable character? If he was a little side character, fine. I'd be okay with that. But in reality, the main character of the story was either Balthier, oh, I can't remember her name, the Princess of Dalmasca. Because you could technically justify her as a main character. I can't remember her name now. That's going to irritate me. To the internet. I actually have to answer this. Bosch is maybe a main character, because you do have to spend some time redeeming him, but I wouldn't call him the main character in that one. Balthier is really the good justification there. Ash, that was her name, Princess Ash. You could justify Ash or Balthier as the main character, especially since it should be Ash. Mainly because the events start out in Dalmasca, but the events really follow Balthier. That's why I'm saying there's a strong argument that Balthier should be the main character. I don't know why he isn't, but he isn't. And that's one of the main reasons why I don't like 12. Aside from the whole trying to make it an MMO and kind of failing at it. I know I'm going to upset someone. I'm sorry. I don't mean to ruin 12 for you, especially like if that was your first Final Fantasy game, good on you. But as far as the Roman numeral line is concerned, to me, it is one of the weakest in the entries in the franchise. I would actually hold 13 higher than it, and a lot of people don't like 13. A lot of people think 13 is weaker. I don't think 13 is weaker because, at least as far as story, 13 can be held strongly against 12. As far as I'm concerned. We are all different people. But we'll get into those arguments when we actually get into the game. Because we are going to be doing the Roman numeral entries, minus 11 and 14, but people are making strong arguments, so 11 and 14 might make their way in there. I'm just going to say this right here and now, they may not get full playthroughs, because they're MMOs. while 11's story, I guess, is technically over, 14's isn't. And so, yeah, I don't know if they will be through to completion, but we'll get there, I suppose. I don't want to disappoint people, but I am actually considering the concept of MMOs. You have made some good arguments, people. But I think that's actually going to go ahead and do it for this week. So when we get back, we will continue on in the end zone and make our way to X-Death.